Hey everybody, welcome to Sweet Talks, the show where we talk about random stuff while we wait for our videos to render.
This week we bring in our good friend and indie filmmaker David N.O.
How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about comic books being turned into films, like the classic 1989 Batman and Batman Returns in 1992.
You know, I actually always liked Batman Forever.
Are you serious?
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Sweet Talks. As we've said before, this episode's about comic book movies, or movies adapted from comic books. So one thing that I notice in particular about our generation, like in the 2000s, is that it kind of has the same kind of pattern as spaghetti westerns almost in the 60s, because with spaghetti westerns, they were like super popular and everybody was trying to emulate that style. So I think like Spider-Man with
The X-Men and Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's when it's kind of like those were the seeds of when.
Hold on, if we really go back, it was Blade. It was Blade. It wasn't Snipes. It was
Blade.
Blade.
True. That is probably one of like the first like movie adapted comic book.
That wasn't like was super cheesy.
Yeah, well, it was action packed and it was like well done too, right? And like looking back on it, I didn't even know what Marvel was at the time. So that kind of like introduced me to like everything else.
What about the movies like, you know, Batman Returns and
Classics.
the classics?
They're classics. I don't know if they were like, would you consider that part of that time frame though?
I wouldn't.
Not really, because like
Yeah.
I see it happened in phases. Like the first phase was the Christopher Reeve Superman, which was the 70s. He was the mega star of superhero movies. The 80s was Michael Keaton in Batman, and I have to say the 2000s, I have to take it to Robert Downey Jr. who played Iron Man.
Yeah, I will give you that. Like, because with each of those ones, they're memorable because of the characters and like the way the actor portrayed the character. Like it's quirky, it's fun, but at the same time, it can get really serious too. Yeah.
And it delivered in the box office and critically acclaimed as well. Like, but I have to say, there's probably a lot of people who feel the same way. I have to say that 1989 Batman, Tim Burton Batman, is way better than The Dark Knight. I don't care what anybody says. I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack from it, but it's
Put
classic.
a disclaimer or something.
Well, okay. Well, it's funny we talk about this because for me, I didn't grow up with this Batman. The first Batman I saw was, I don't remember if I was talking about Batman and Robin or Batman Forever.
Well, still, same.
Is it the
Batman
same?
Forever has Batgirl in it.
Okay, I think I'm talking
No,
about
Batman and Robin have Batgirl. Batman Forever has Robin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what? Okay, I'm talking about the one with Batgirl, Robin, and Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, Batman and Robin.
That was Batman and Robin?
Like when you liked it as a kid, I'm just wondering, is one of the feature characteristics of comic book movies the ability to charm people into remembering them? Like being memorable in a charming
memorable.
way.
See, for me, I didn't realize how campy it was and how it got, like, I didn't get that. I didn't get the whole Bat credit card thing was stupid. I just thought it was fun. Like, oh, he's beating up, and Mr. Freeze was in there. He's the Terminator, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it was just kind of fun for me. So I think bringing people into the world and having a sense of fun is what superhero movies are now, like that exhilaration, excitement.
To be fair though, in your one line of defense, like I think what they were trying to go for, like the Adam West kind of campiness. With those
Yeah,
ones.
they were.
Yeah,
Like
they
they're
were.
kind of like, oh, this is like absolutely silly.
Yeah.
Like, bat shark repellent.
Yep.
That's all I
Like
got.
just goofy. I think they were trying to make a cartoon, like a live action cartoon.
Yeah, they were.
Was what?
Because at the time, Tim Burton, when he made Batman Returns, he had so much creative control, and I guess some people complained that Batman Returns wasn't really a Batman movie, but a Tim Burton movie. So when they were like, when Tim Burton got the opportunity to do the third one, which was Batman Forever, the studio was like, no. So they got Joel Schumacher to come in, and he was the one that kind of like brought his flavor to it, and that's why it came out like that in the sense of campiness, because he loved the Adam West Batman.
Adam West Batman.
Because there are obviously good comic book adaptations, and there are bad movie comic book adaptations. What separates the two?
My opinion is the script. If the script is corny, the movie's gonna be corny.
And how close they are to the actual comic book sometimes. Because, I mean, it doesn't have to be super... even The Walking Dead, it's a adaptation of a comic. But I think some parts of the film or the show adaptation did a little better than a little differently, and I think the first episode of The Walking Dead did it better than the comic itself.
Yeah.
Because I think the pacing of the show had a lot more build up, and it was a little bit better than the comic book. Whereas the comic book, you just, like, first page, you jump right in.
Yeah, because the biggest thing was the difference between like when Rick's in the hospital.
Yeah.
Right? Like that scene is like one page.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then like in the Walking Dead, they use that to just build atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Like this hospital's abandoned, you see the dead inside, don't open.
But another reason for that is
don't open. Dead
television
inside.
has a lot of freedom to explore the characters more, to get involved with and interact more with like even like the people who are watching it. So I think it depends on the medium it's the story is being adapted from. That can add more and less to the project.
That's true.
Or to the film.
Yeah, because also if it's a film adaptation, films also have a limited time to tell a big story, so sometimes they have to cut a lot of things out.
Yeah.
That's true, because I felt like I loved Zack Snyder's Watchmen, but there were some things that he couldn't do from that was that the comic book had that he could put into the film, and I thought he dealt with that pretty well. Like,
oh, that's pretty good. I'm glad that they made like, because one big part of the Watchmen is the Tales of the Black Freighter, right? Yeah. So I'm glad he made it as like a separate kind of thing.
But supposedly, I heard there's a pack that has all the information that the comic book has. Like Tales of the Black Freighter is actually in this movie pack. Okay. You can only buy it in the UK, but it's like the ultimate edition of Watchmen, and it has all that information.
Ultimate edition.
In one big cut, essentially.
Yeah, in one big. So the movie's like
okay.
I think like 4.5 hours with this all this other added in stuff. Yeah. Like it has interviews, it has like animation of the Black Freighter animation in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I felt that Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller's Sin City was probably one of the best adaptations of a comic book, next to 1989 Batman.
Hey, and the style too.
Yeah,
the style.
It looks like a comic book, like visually.
So, what are some bad adaptations then? Gabby behind the camera was saying Catwoman.
Like the Halle Berry.
I love Catwoman. That Halle Berry Catwoman. And there's reasons why.
Okay, here we go.
Simple. She's sexy. I don't give a who plays Catwoman. If you find a chick in like tight black leather, like what's wrong with that?
Anne
like,
Hathaway?
Oh man, she was good too.
What about Michelle Pfeiffer? She was like
Michelle Pfeiffer
skin tight leather.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the innuendos in Batman Batman Returns.
Yeah, Batman Returns. Yeah.
But man, she was. I don't know. There's something about women in tight leather.
Okay, so Halle Berry like basically looked the part for you.
Yeah.
Okay, was there anything in the cinematography or like?
You know, the cinematography was okay. It was just the script was bad. That's it. The script was bad. And that's the thing that a lot of comic book movies suffer from. They can have awesome costumes, awesome effects, but if you got a bad script. One comic book adaptation that I thought was different from the comic, but better, was The Mask. Like Jim Carrey in 1994 was in The Mask. The comic, in my opinion, is much more graphic and gritty and violent. But the movie captured like a warm, lighted heartness that I think like a lot of kids will love.
E for everyone.
Yeah. So, but this comic is wicked. Another of my favorites is Wanted. What do you guys think of the movie?
Well,
There we go.
to be fair, like you told me about the comic books before the movie, and now that I watched the movie after hearing about what the comic book is actually about, this is nothing like the comic book.
Yeah, I haven't seen the comic. I thought the movie was like okay though.
You haven't read the comic yet?
Haven't read the comic yet. Was it like really?
It's crazy. So it's essentially like the villains win, and they teleport the heroes to different dimensions where they think they're actors and stuff. But the villains like control everything.
That's way different from
Yeah.
It's not Assassins like a movie.
No.
But yeah.
The movie was a little like cheesy for me. I don't know.
I felt the same way too.
Yeah.
It wasn't really
Like,
didn't really hold up.
Even not knowing the comics, it just felt kind of cheesy.
Do you think like comic book movies could do like a charmingly cheesy?
Batman and Robin?
Oh no, that's just turd. That's turd.
Alright. Fine.
I thought V for Vendetta was another excellent comic book adaptation.
Now the thing is, I've never actually read the full thing by Alan Moore. Like I've watched the movie like a ton of times.
Classic.
And like it's a really well made movie.
Sorry guys.
Oh no,
It's okay.
Gabby
Gives
behind the camera.
Gives character to this.
Who's got the?
Just the background
He's got
dying.
the
It's a tough thing to do because you're dealing with like written word and like visuals as opposed to like on screen like live action.
And it's also a balance between the source material that fans love and introducing it to a whole new audience that nobody has seen about it.
Which is what we're doing with this project.
Yeah, for sure. Dave, can you tell us a little bit about this project?
Well, this project, I'm going to be turning this project into a 3-part miniseries. I'm actually raising funds for it on Indiegogo. It's totally awesome. It's called The Damned. It's like a gangster film noir-esque with a lot of demons and a lot of cursed souls. And yeah, I'm going to turn it into an awesome miniseries.
Yeah, and if you've seen our horror short, Holder of the Night, the main character of that...
The main actor is going to be
the main actor.
He's going to be playing this guy,
He's
Eddie.
Be the lead. Yeah.
The one thing that I liked about your guys' short Holder of the Night is that's exactly what I'm looking for this. And these two awesome gentlemen are going to be doing a lot of the cinematography for The Damned. So.
Also, shout out to Brendan that directed the holders.
Shout out to Brendan.
Yeah,
nice.
Because
we
never talk about Brendan, but Brendan, that's his little baby.
Now he's over there.
Now he's over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there's only a few days left for the Indiegogo campaign, so please check out the link below. Any donation really helps.
And if you want to see more of Dave's work, check out his YouTube channel, The Mad Bomber 187, in the link below or above.
Right there.
Yeah.
Don't forget to support us on Patreon. That way we can pump up more episodes of Sweet Talk and bigger and better shorts.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen our last video, it's called The Holder of Night. It's a horror short film
based on the creepypasta.
And of course, Star Wars vs. Skyrim. If you haven't seen that yet, please go check it out.
Totally.
These guys both helped out on it, and Gabby, shout out to Gabby behind the camera.
Gabby!
He's been sick this whole time.
Yeah. So that wraps up this episode of Sweet Talks. We'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. The green does not exist.
I gotta say this about the Green Lantern. Casting Ryan Reynolds as the Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds is an awesome actor. I thought he should have been the Flash, in my opinion. He seems more like the Flash.
He's more
I
quick
feel,
wit,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
It's more of the Flash.
him as the Green Lantern, no. But the Flash, he should have been the Flash, in my opinion.
Deadpool now, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's gonna be a classic movie, I think.